What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon, and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are talking about The Demon Tide by Laurie Forest. This is the fourth book in the Black Witch Chronicles, and I have honestly been really loving this series, and I was actually going back and looking at my past ratings, and all of these books, like, disappoint me in some way, and then the ending just, like, keeps me scrambling for more, to the point where I was like, I don't want to read the novellas, I don't need to read those, it's fine, and then I finished Demon Tide, and I'm like, no, I have to read the novellas, I need to know more, because the next book doesn't come out until like next year. With The Demon Tide, we were coming off of a lot of things. I will say the third book wasn't my favorite. I wasn't a huge fan of like the direction that some of the things went in, and like the pacing was a little bit weird, and we do see that carry over a little bit into Demon Tide, but like the last 2 hours of this book were absolutely jaw-droppingly amazing, so like I'm gonna forgive so many things. To start off in The Demon Tide, we have Ellerin completely alone. Everybody has been captured or have been sent away already to the east, so she's really fending for herself, and I was hoping to see a little bit more of that, but instead we get a huge focus at the beginning of this book on her brother within the Wyvern Guard, and I did like seeing his side of the story. I liked seeing him come into his own. But my big problem with these books as a whole is that they're not really good at juggling multiple characters, which is ridiculous because there are so many characters that gets POVs, especially in this book. So I was really hoping that we could have had, you know, a little bit of him mixed in with a little bit of Tyranny, mixed in with a little bit of Ellerin, mixed with a little bit of Winter, but instead it's really all or nothing at the beginning of this book. As it goes on, I really loved learning a lot more about the East because Ellerin finally arrives in Neuland in this book, and it is beautiful, and it was also really interesting to see how the threats of the West do still have a little bit to do with what's going on in the East. Like there's threat of like maybe them taking on the same mentality, them not really thinking that the West is anything to do with them. So I loved seeing that. And then of course we get this beautiful Noi holiday. And what was interesting is that like a huge chunk of this book takes place within like 1 hour. And it's just chapter after chapter after chapter that is a different perspective for each hour. And that I did get a little bit burned down on. And I got burned out because it was like the same thing over and over, and I'm not talking plot wise, I'm talking like character development wise. It was just different characters doing the same thing over and over. Like the first couple, I was like, oh, this is cute, I like this, and then it kept going into like more obscure characters, and I'm like, okay, can we get into the battle now? I know we're getting into the battle, and then once we're into the battle, then she has you begging and wishing you were back in the fluffiness that was that one single hour. I am seriously in love with the series. I think Laurie Forest is doing a really good job at just looking at these different cultures, at these different perspectives, and then the way that she ends off is just so unbelievably beautiful, because it's not just like the Gardnerians using their religion to make themselves more powerful, or using like these racist ideas that are making themselves so much more powerful, but it's also the way it just seeps into your mind through these generations, and seeing these characters break out of this hold and then move on to these other lands, see these different perspectives. I really loved that. And then of course, when it comes to the shipping, when it comes to characters, listen, I do love Lucas, I do, but he's not Yvonne, okay? He's not Yvonne. I thought it was really interesting what Laurie Forest does with that relationship in this book, and I am interested to see the repercussions of that going into the final book, because I feel like there's a lot of things still up in the air, and Ellerin herself has come such a long way, and honestly, more than anything, what I want right now is to go back and reread the first book again, just because this Ellerin is a completely different person, and I've loved seeing this journey. So I went back and forth a lot, but I do think I'm gonna give this book an A-. I am really happy that I decided to read this series. I can't wait to read the novellas, and I cannot believe I have to wait so long for the next book to come out. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit the like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to Top Books with me every week. That's everything I got for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.